Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Prepping by Faith, and today I want to talk to you guys about water, because water is life and without it we're not going to live. So I just wanted to talk to you guys about these things. So I'm going to try to move through this stuff as quickly as I can, but I want to highlight everything, and I really want to get you guys thinking about, I know a lot of you have put up cases of water, bottles of water, jugs of water, those sorts of things, but that is not a long-term solution. That's a temporary solution, and you guys need to be thinking about more permanent solutions when it comes to your water sources. So you need to be scouting out what is near you. Do you have any streams near you? Do you have any rivers near you? Do you have any reservoirs or ponds, anything like that? And you need to find out how far away that is from your location, and how are you going to be transporting that if you do. I know for us in our area of Colorado, our nearest reservoir is 3 miles away, so that would be quite a hike. So you're going to need to think about how you're transporting it back. Do you have a wagon? Do you have some kind of a cart? Do you have something to transport that back? And then also, with that, even if you can move the water back for your drinking needs, that isn't going to be a solution as far as growing food. I know some of you guys actually get quite a bit of rain in your area, but if you're in an area of the United States that's in a drought area, which a lot of us are, we don't get a lot of rain regularly, so you're going to need other solutions. And that's why I want to show you this. This is something that I don't see anybody mentioning. Now, this is an emergency water well kit. It's a DIY kit. It's something that we purchased from emergencywaterwell.com, and I will link their website for you guys so you can check it out. This is their large bore kit, and what it comes with is an auger, the well house, and then the pipes and things that you need. But there are some additional items that you will have to purchase with this kit. So it does have the pump and the hand pump and that sort of thing with it, but you're also going to need some other things. This is running about $600 online now. So the other things that you're going to need, you're going to need a hacksaw, you're going to need pliers, you're going to need pipe wrenches, PVC cement and primer, rope or parachute cord. You're going to need 2 bags of 1/2 cubic foot of pea gravel. You're going to need a bag of cement. You're going to need the drill pipe. And then you are also going to need 4-inch PVC pipe, 2 10-foot sections, and then you're going to need 4-inch PVC connector collars, 2 of those. So those are things that you're going to have to purchase additionally from your hardware store. I know for us, I don't remember if we went to Lowe's or we went to Home Depot and we purchased those items. And I can't tell you offhand how much that cost us in addition. I think it was probably at least $100. It may have been a little bit more. So plan accordingly for that. The other thing I want to encourage you to do is to do your research in your area. So you're going to want to find out, how far down do you have groundwater? So for us in our area, this thing is equipped to go down 25 feet. They do have extenders that you can buy separately where you could go down as far as 50 feet. But I feel like that might be a little bit more risky. For us, I know that in our area of Colorado, we have groundwater within 12.5 to 13 feet. You're also going to want to take into account the type of soil that you have. So if you have large rock or bedrock, you're not going to be able to penetrate through that with this little auger. So this may not be a solution for you, but for those of you that have sandy or clay soil, this could be a great option. Another thing you're going to want to think about is, how are you going to keep that insulated during the wintertime? So anything that's sticking up above the ground, and we know it freezes down about 3 feet. So you're going to want to go ahead and insulate that with something. So you could get, yourself some old towels, those pipe insulation tubes that you can attach with pipe wrap tape or zip ties. And then you're going to also want something like a large insulation cover, like what you would use for your sprinkler system. So you guys need to be planning accordingly for that sort of thing if this is something that you want to think about. Now, we don't know what that groundwater is like, so the other things that you're going to have to be thinking about is, how are you going to filter that when it comes out? But I feel like as far as trying to grow crops or anything like that, you're going to need more of an on-site permanent water solution. And I feel like this is one that you guys should really be thinking about. The other thing that I wanted to mention to you, in addition to purchasing this, we also went ahead and they have videos on how to put this whole thing together. So we kind of did a screencast and we went ahead and put this onto a DVD for ourselves. We do have one of those small DVD players, the personal ones that you can use, put up inside of our Faraday cage that we've created, so that way we have a backup and we know how to do this, because they do not offer the video. They don't send that out to you. It is just something that they have on their website, so you might want to consider doing that. The other thing that we did is we printed off the steps so that we had written instructions as well. So I would suggest doing something like that and then attaching it to your system here inside of a Ziploc bag so that you have it on hand and you're ready to go in an event. Okay, so another thing that I have here, even though we don't get a ton of rain in Colorado, we do get some, and so I have purchased ourselves a rain barrel here. This is something that you guys should probably have on hand, is at least some sort of a decent rain barrel, rain catchment system. This one does have the screen. And the other thing that you're going to want with this is you're going to want some sort of a like an adapter so that you can actually connect this up to your downspout, because you have to be able to get that off your gutter system, and if you don't have some way of attaching that so that it flows into this, then it's going to be very difficult. So think about that. I feel like a rain barrel is a great way to collect water. Now, I know there is some speculation as to whether or not you should be collecting rainwater off of your roof if you don't have a metal roof and you have more of that asphalt. But I feel like, you guys, if you have some way of filtering that water, some water is going to be better than no water. And a lot of those water filtration systems that we have, like the Berkeys and the other ones, another one that we have is Seychelles, there are options where you can go ahead and filter that down to 99.9% of those particles. The other thing that I would do is I wouldn't run that directly through that. So I'm going to show you something else over here that I would do first to get those larger particles out. There is another site that I have watched where a gentleman had created some sort of homemade filtration where he just took some large gravel and then he took some sand, and then on top of that he layered some of this activated carbon, which you can get in the fish section, the aquarium section of any store. And you can go ahead and layer this inside of a 2-liter bottle, so like a soda bottle, and you can create yourself a way of filtering out those larger particles and get that water down to where it's decent before you start putting it through anything else. So I would suggest you guys look at that. I'm going to link his channel in the description box for you as well, so you can take a look at how he puts that together, because I think that's really genius, and I think that's something that we need to be thinking about. And this stuff is not very expensive, so this is a great solution to filter out those larger particles. And there could be many situations where that water could be extremely contaminated, especially with all of the nuclear threats that we're hearing about. That water would be contaminated, so we would have to get that radiation filtered out. And I feel like the best way to do that, to filter out a lot of those larger particles, would be to use something like this. Hey guys, first. So the last thing that I wanted to cover with you is just some water purification options, water filtration options, and then water storage, some additional ones. So I think a lot of us are familiar with Big Berkey. I know I'm probably going to get hit and dinged for not having it out of the box, but this is something that I put up because it is pricier. And so what we use right now is just a Brita filter and that sort of water filtration, and then we drink bottled water. So I did not want to go ahead and open this because the filters are expensive. So this particular one, I think is the 2 1/4 size, and it does come with 2 of those filters. And then I've gone ahead and I've purchased 2 more sets of additional filters. So I would suggest you guys do the same. Have backup filters for this because you're going to need it. The other thing that I went ahead and got is I got this Berkey stainless steel system maintenance kit. So it's got a lot of the rubber gaskets and things just in case a part goes bad on it. You want to have something like this. Go ahead and put this up because this is actually a lot cheaper than, you know, a lot of the stuff, but if you don't have the components to fix it, then it's not going to work for you. So I would suggest having that. The other thing that I have over here is a Sawyer Mini. We have several of these in our go bags, so I would suggest you guys have these. And then I also have here these Aqua Tabs. These are purification, water purification tablets that you can go ahead and purchase. I keep these in our go bags as well, so I pulled them out for this video. And then the other one I have here, I know a lot of people don't like Life Straw, but they did make a water filter pitcher, which I think was pretty cool. And this is supposed to filter out a lot of those contaminants as well. Lead, mercury, heavy metals, bacteria and parasites, and your chemicals and microplastics. So you guys might want to check into this. I have spare filters for this. I did go ahead and mention I also have the Seychelles system put up. Plenty of spare filters for that. So if you guys can, start building backups to your backups to your backups, because that is what we need to do when we are prepping. We don't want to have just one or two solutions. We want to think broad, especially when it comes to water, because water, we know we cannot live without water. It is life, and it's very serious. So if we don't have enough water, we're not going to be able to do anything because we won't be here to do it. And so the other thing that I wanted to show you is that's just a water bob. I have a couple of those. Those are great for an emergency situation where you can quickly fill up your bathtub, and then that water is safely encased in that plastic, so that if you did have a situation, let's just say nuclear or something, then that would be encased in there. It would be safe. It would be free from any sort of contaminants. Even if there was small fallout particles that had gotten into your home, that water would be safe in there. So you might want to consider something like that. The other thing that I wanted to mention to you guys is that don't forget that your hot water tank does have water in it. So that is going to be, depending on the size of your water tank, 40 to 50 gallons of water that you still have stored that you can access. Obviously, things like cases of bottled water, jugs of bottled water, those sorts of things that we need to have on hand as well for an emergency situation. But like I said before, they are not going to be a permanent solution. They are a temporary solution. So that's why I went ahead and showed you the other things at the beginning, because those are more permanent solutions. The other thing I wanted to mention really quickly is, in addition to water, we can still become depleted of things like our electrolytes. So you're going to want to go ahead and have something on hand. I feel like these liquid IVs are probably one of the better ones. They're hydration multipliers. So one stick inside of a glass of water is equivalent to 3 bottles of water. So these are really great to put up in your preps. So I would consider not just having a water source, but also having a way to replenish your electrolytes. So these are just some things that my family has done to prepare. What kind of things have you guys done to prepare as far as water sources and solutions? Go ahead and comment down below for me. And if you guys have enjoyed this video today, please like, share, and subscribe. And remember to pray, prep, and put God first. God bless.